throughout this investigation, I have noticed some recurring themes that have come up. Didn't really know what all this means. I still don't know what all of it means. And I wanted to start jotting this down and putting it together so that it looks clean and we can just add another name every time a name comes up in any of these categories. If you just look over here at the columns, these four themes that I'm identifying, and I'm going to add more: Liberty University, Eastern Europe, trafficking and child sex abuse, and then in that final column, military. These are just themes that I recognize keep coming up. So Liberty University, very quickly going through this, Tyler Boyer attended and he graduated.
Now, the key to this, because I just want to add some context, Liberty University is where all of these weirdos went. Keep that in mind. And the reason why I'm talking about this in particular, just to add clarity, is because with this whole Charlie Kirk situation, the number one thing that I stayed on from day one is the tadpoles, i.e. the kids, but I like to say the word tadpoles. So when I say tadpoles, I mean children. Everybody else, they have their, area of expertise, or the ballistics or the exploding mics and all this other stuff. Cool. But since day one, I stayed on this and I knew something was up. And just for the record, I did the same thing with the P. Diddy case. It was about children and not just about Diddy screwing people over or baby oil. In a lot of these situations, and I would say in almost every last one of these situations, no matter what it is, it always goes back to this same thing. And there's certain things I can't really say, but I'll just say tadpole traffic lights. Some of y'all don't know what that means. Ask somebody in the chat and they'll tell you, but almost everything you see on TV, in movies, TV shows, whether it was Nickelodeon, it was all about tadpole traffic lights. So that's the main thing I've been on. So this is the rabbit hole that we're going down today. And this is the rabbit hole that I've always went down. So make sure to hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. And I'm going to play the like button song. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all want to hear the like button song. I know I haven't played in a minute, but let's go. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all want me to play the like button song. I would.
Kirk attended and she graduated. Cabot Phillips attended and he graduated. Mikey McCoy was accepted into Liberty University, but then he chose.
So hold on, let me back it up a little bit because this is very, 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 very important. How many people went to Liberty University and how they all are connected? And when I say they all are connected, I mean they all are connected.
Time a name comes up in any of these categories. If you just look over here at the columns, these four themes that I'm identifying, and I'm going to add more: Liberty University, Eastern Europe, trafficking and child sex abuse, and then in that final column, military. These are just themes that I recognize keep coming up. So Liberty University, very quickly going through this, Tyler Boyer attended and he graduated. Erika Kirk attended and she graduated. Cabot Phillips attended and he graduated. Mikey McCoy was accepted into Liberty University, but then he chose not to attend because he got the job at Turning Point USA instead, and he went direct there after high school. It should be noted that his father, Rob McCoy, met Charlie Kirk via Jerry Falwell Jr. He was the president of Liberty University.
All right, right there. Jerry Falwell Jr. and Liberty University. See, this is when it gets really bad, y'all. Jerry Falwell, if y'all don't know, he was a crooked pastor, or his father was a crooked pastor, or both of them. We'll get into that. But it's always a connection with the church, always, because that's how they get people. So keep in mind, Jerry Falwell, keep that in mind.
Until there was a sex scandal fallout. Andrew Colbert, I'll tell you what his connection is. Andrew Colbert was working PR for the Kairos company under Johnny Moore. Johnny Moore was the lead pastor at Liberty University prior to then.
Lead pastor at Liberty University. Lead pastor at Liberty University. What is Liberty University and what can you get from it? All right. Liberty University is a private evangelical Christian university. Keep that in mind. In Lynchburg, Virginia. It was founded in 1971 by, like Candace just said, Jerry Falwell Sr. and Elmer whoever. So this is very important for all of us to understand. As of 2023, Liberty has an endowment of $1.7 billion and offers accredited programs. Accredited programs. You have a crooked pastor offering accredited programs to other people. So keep that in mind. And all these Turning Point USA people, remember, they're not evangelists. They're supposed to be working with Turning Point USA, helping the kids. This is how it's all connected. They all went to this same little stupid weirdo evangelist college.
Leaving Liberty University to start the PR firm. And Johnny Moore is an important name for those of you who watch. Tucker Carlson had interviewed someone in the military. He was speaking about what was happening in Gaza, how children were literally starving, how children were being shot at. Bizarrely, they decided that Johnny Moore, Reverend Johnny Moore, is it Reverend Johnny Moore?
Reverend. It's always a freaking reverend. And everybody make sure to hit the like button. And of course, shout out to Candace Owens. A lot of y'all are Candace fans already, but I have to give homage to Candace because, like I said earlier, since day one, I've been chasing this, trying to find out what's going on with the Tadpoles. And that is my number one and has always been my number one goal. And I say, as time has been going by, Candace has gotten a little bit farther down this rabbit hole of the Romanian angels. She's just starting to talk about these things. And I was like, yo, what about the Romanian angels? What about Erika Kirk? What about the Tadpoles? What about this? Forget, like, Charlie Kirk. I understand, people want to find all this other stuff, but forget that, because at least for a certain amount of time, and focus on the children. Charlie Kirk is either dead or some of y'all think he is, some of y'all think he isn't. So, but he's where he is. But there are children, because Turning Point USA is still up and running and they're growing. There's more chapters coming up all over the damn country. So it's growing. It's like a plague. So as much as we, want to talk about Charlie Kirk this and Charlie Kirk that, we got to put that to the side, at least for a second, and find out what we can do as a whole about these kids, because they are still being traumatized. And everybody wants to keep talking about Charlie Kirk and exploding mics. And I don't want to say who cares, but at the end of the day, yes, Gregory in Valhalla. Exactly. And I don't want to be like, man, who cares? Because I don't want to be dismissive of other people's ideas and content. But I think a lot of people don't necessarily want to talk about this. And so I want to give all credit to Candace Owens for finally slowing down and getting to the real thing, which is the Tadpoles. So shout out to Candace Owens. Lately, she's been going crazy on this topic, and I absolutely love it.
He was somehow equipped to lead the Gaza Humanitarian Fund, and he gets this role. Essentially, you're going to distribute your organization. You're going to be the head of distributing the food to the children of Palestine, the families of Palestine. And obviously, we know how that went. IDF.
See, y'all thought it stopped with the Romanian angel stuff. I'm about to show you how everything is so connected. I'm gonna start right here. I want to show y'all something else. I'm gonna do a separate video about this, but I want y'all to look at this and we'll come back to this. I just want to show y'all.
My most important discovery in the Charlie.
So this is just going to show you how everything is so connected.
Okay, guys, this might be my most important discovery in the Charlie Kirk saga so far. I started researching Dan Flood, and I found his resume on an old website. And I noticed in his resume, it states that from 1997 to 2003, he was a Security Forces non-commissioned officer, but from 1999 to 2000, he was a regulatory researcher and software instructor for HSE Systems. And I thought, well, that's interesting. I wonder where he did that. In 1995, he was an OSHA safety consultant and a safety resource company of Ohio, where he inspected work sites.
Okay, hold on. Does everybody know who Dan Flood is? Does everybody know who Brian Harpole is? Say yes or no in the chat, because I want to make sure everybody understands what's going on, what this woman is talking about. Does everybody know who Dan Flood is? And does everybody know who Brian Harpole is? Because I don't want to just jump over that and people don't exactly know what's going on. So you say yes or no in the chat, and I can explain it if y'all do. I mean, if y'all don't.
Okay, guys, this might be my most important discovery in the Charlie
This is very important right here.
Saga so far. I started researching Dan Flood.
All right, so some people said, who is Dan Flood? Dan Flood and Brian Harpole are the security detail that Charlie Kirk had, and those are the people who let Charlie Kirk pass away on their watch. And what I'm about to show you right here is a perfect example of how they all set him up. It was all a setup, and this is a fact that it was all set up. And this is right here.
On top of him, and just was on him almost face to face, and then I'm on top of him up close. It squirted.
So this is Brian Harpole right here.
Top of him up close. It squirted through my fingers, and I could taste it on my lips. And I could.
All right, so I just want to show y'all that. That's who Brian Harpole is. And so they are the security people that were surrounding Charlie Kirk. So what I'm about to show you right here is how they knew the Franz vase in the 90s. And how did these people become Charlie Kirk's security detail? And we're going to talk about the Tadpoles, but I just want to make sure y'all understand exactly what is going on and how deep and disgusting the whole situation is.
Found his resume on an old website, and I noticed in his resume.
So this is Dan Flood's resume on an old website.
It states that from 1997 to 2003, he was a Security Forces non-commissioned officer, but from 1999 to 2000, he was a regulatory researcher and software instructor for HSE Systems. And I thought, well, that's interesting. I wonder where he did that. In 1995, he was an OSHA safety consultant and a safety resource company of Ohio, where he inspected work sites, practices, and gear for compliance, and established safety standards. He responded to any emergencies as instructed with utmost efficiency. He was recognized and documented and advised on removal of hazards. This was in North Canton, Ohio, from 1994 to 1999. What I found
1994 to 1999. Think about the dates. He knew Erika Kirk. He knew Erika Kirk's mom. He knew Erika Kirk's father in the early 90s or the mid 90s, I would say. Keep that in mind. And out of nowhere, Charlie Kirk has these idiots on as his security detail. Not one thing said anything about security. They're not in security in the 90s. And out of nowhere, there's security detail for Charlie Kirk. And next thing you know, they carry Charlie Kirk's body and all this other crazy stuff. And, you know, they don't call an ambulance. And nobody thinks this isn't a damn setup. So listen.
What I found interesting was that he was in Ohio. And you know who else was in Ohio that got their company started there? It was Lori Francevy and Ken Francevy, started in Ohio, and then moved their company to Arizona. So I thought, I wonder if they knew each other back then. Dan Flood and the Francevys. And guess what I found out? They did. The connection to Ohio. During the period of 1999 to 2000, while he was an NCO in the Air Force Reserves, he lived and worked in Massillon, Ohio as a regulatory researcher for HSE Systems. Flood's transition from federal service into the private sector connects him to the Franz V family network. And here is how. They're connected through their involvement in defense technology sector, specifically AZ Tech International, and its network of security and EMP-proof infrastructures. So Flood, with his over 30-year experience in the Department of Defense, the U.S. Air Force Security Services, and Air Force non-commissioned officer, and as an educational regulatory role in HSE Systems and regulatory researcher of software, he provided technical foundation for his later involvement with Lori Franz V's highly regulated defense enterprises. That included AZ Tech International, G Tech, and E3 Tech. He also was associated with Ken Franz V, her former husband, who served as the program research director of AZ Tech International. His work in defense research complements Flood's background in security operations and regulatory research. The primary bridge between these individuals is operational structure of AZ Tech International. Lori provides the corporate leadership with the vision for the EMP. Kent directs the high-level program research necessary for the product development, and Dan leverages his extensive USAF Security Forces experience and software expertise to support the firm's mission, likely focused.
Do you see how they aren't security personnel? They're in securities. They're into like software. So why is somebody that's into security software your physical security? Security software is not the same as being somebody's security guard. I want y'all to think about that. Security versus security, two totally different things. I don't need you to be my security guard if you are a software guy. And why would you want to be my security guard if you're a security software guy? Why don't you just keep working with Lori Fransby and Kent Fransby? Why in the world are you my security guard? And at one point, Candace Owens said it was peculiar how Dan Flood wanted to make sure that Charlie Kirk was protected everywhere he went by them, even before he became famous. The reason why is because they needed to observe him. So think about this. Erika Kirk observed him as a wife. And then they brought these guys around as security guards, even though they're security software people, which makes no sense, on the outside. So now they're flying everywhere, going everywhere, watching every speech he does. And when he goes home, the daughter of Lori and Kent Fransby is observing him in the house. So this man was literally watched and observed in every fraction of his life other than taking a shit and taking a piss.
Focusing on security and regulatory compliance aspects for defense contracts.
See, this is not a guy that you get to be your security guard. It makes no sense. They get paid more money to do that versus being somebody's security guards.
Motherfuckers, I knew that this was some kind of infiltration of TPUSA with the Franz V. Farnsworth Boyer. What did I say? And now let's add Dan Flood into the mix because he's known these people since.
And remember, Franz V. Boyer and Farnsworth. These are families. And these families, I talked about that in a earlier show. They all have been around each other since the 80s and the 90s. So all of these people were just like this. And then they're all like a pack of wolves. And then next thing you know, they see this buffalo just walking through the snow, walking through the woods, which is Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk got his microphone and yes, and all of a sudden they just like, yo, check him out. And they're like, oh, fresh meat. Okay, so you go over there, you go over here, you go over there. It's like 20 of them. Because this is a whole family. It's not 5. It's like 20. This is a whole operation. So next thing you know, they turn around and befriend this man, Tyler Boyer, first. He becomes his Charlie Kirk's best friend. And then he brings in the second person, which is his new best friend, which is his wife. Because like y'all already know, Tyler Boyer introduced Charlie Kirk to Erika. And next thing you know, boom. Because they're all around him, they just start adding more people to the situation. Now, the security detail has been known in Franzvies since the 90s. Ron McCoy, all these people know each other and have known each other for decades. And the only person that doesn't know anything is Charlie Kirk.
It's the freaking 90s. And on top of it, you know who else? Want to know who else was involved with this during the Ohio time period? That's right, Brian fucking Harpole. So Dan, during 1995 to 1999, he served as the OSHA safety consultant within the firm's core consulting team. This was formative, period, during the company's regional reputation and site inspection and safety program design. Brian Harpole was a key figure in the firm's leadership and technical operations. He was widely recognized as the principal safety or resources company of Ohio, where he specialized in on-site audits, training, and forensic safety investigations. Harpole and Flood worked in the same professional-centered circle on this specific consulting firm. So Flood and Harpole eventually working with the Franzvies. Yes, I fucking knew these maniac liars. They have.
So now let's go back to the content with Candace. So I'm just showing you that, and send this part to Candace if y'all want to. I don't think Candace knew about this part. I'm gonna do a separate video about this.
Killing them. And so he does a lot to say, I have no idea why he got this position. It seems remarkably corrupt anyway.
And when she said killing them, she means tadpoles. I just need y'all to understand. I don't want to rewind it because I stopped it at that point on purpose. But killing them meant tadpoles. I just need y'all to understand that. It gets worse, though.
I wanted to let you know who that Johnny Moore was. He was just running PR. He's a PR guy like Andrew Colvett, who was under him. And then Andrew Colvett leaves Kairos and decides to mint his own PR firm that's really just around Charlie Kirk, really, as his only client. I believe that's his only client, Turning Point USA.
And when somebody has a singular client, you already know something's wrong. So hold on one second.
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the like button. 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 Hit the like button as y'all come in. And welcome to the show, to the new people.
Then you have the Falkirk Center. I'm going to put that in the same category in case you don't know this.
Now, Falkirk Center was Jerry Falwell, which is the crooked pastor that got caught up in some weirdo stuff, Epstein stuff. So the Falkirk Center had to be turned into Turning Point Faith. See, every single person that they start working with ends up getting caught up in the same exact type of scandal. It's always tadpole traffic lights. Every single person except for Charlie Kirk. And it just has me wondering, like, yo, did they send Charlie Kirk out to Korea, send Charlie Kirk here, send Charlie Kirk out here, in order to be able to get away with all of this stuff? Or did Charlie Kirk know? Because it's so many examples of all of these people being the same type of predators. How can Charlie Kirk not know? They were recruiting teenagers in the damn video that I showed y'all the other day. So, and this is recently. So they've been doing this for like at least a decade. And there's no way in this world that Charlie Kirk could not have known. No way in this world. It wouldn't make no sense. Nobody's that dumb to not know all of this stuff. Because remember, Falkirk Center is Faldwell and Charlie Kirk. You don't think Charlie Kirk mentioned his name with Jerry Falwell? He didn't know who the hell Jerry Falwell was? Everybody know who Jerry Falwell was in the 80s. Charlie Kirk is a little young, though. So I don't know.
Happened was Jerry Falwell Jr. and Charlie Kirk decided to come together to establish the Falkirk Center. This was actually...
Now remember, this is Jerry Falwell's son, Jerry Falwell's Jr. Jerry Falwell Sr. was already caught up in some stuff. He's a crooked pastor. Now his son is in the stuff too. Just think about this. Y'all don't think okay, let's do this. Do you think Charlie Kirk knew about all this stuff, or was he just oblivious? Say yes or no in the chat. Do you think Charlie Kirk knew, or do you think he was oblivious? Yes or no? Because I need to know. Do y'all think he knew? I think he knew.
Actually, Turning Point USA, the precursor to Turning Point USA, right? So he meets Rob McCoy. They start discussing putting this together, the Falkirk Center. And then Jerry Falwell has this huge sex scandal. He's forced to step down. It's like this pool boy scandal. He's forced to step down from Liberty University. And now this project we can't go forward with this.
And remember, this university is not just a college. I can't use the word right. Evangelical university. So it's on some pastor church mess. Just keep that in mind. This is some churchy crap. This is not just a college. And they all went to the same damn evangelical college. Erika, all of them. Mikey, all of them.
This is hugely embarrassing to the university. This is now going to be a relic. By the way, at that time, Erika Franceby, because her and Charlie were not yet married, they were dating. She became a Falkirk Fellow. They were kind of hitting the road together and working to make the Falkirk Center a thing.
So right there's a small possibility that Erika was running the Falkirk Center and was doing all this stuff with Jerry Falwell. And we all know she's, she loves the kids, right? Erika Kirk loves orphans and shit, right? So she loves all this stuff, i.e. Romanian angels. So she's been doing all this weird old mess. So it's a possibility that Charlie's like, yeah, do what you want to do. I'm over here doing this. And she's over here running a whole damn cult with Jerry Falwell. When I say, bruh, like, I'm going to single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get Erika Kirk brought up on charges.
And so what happened after it fell apart was that they decided to instead create Turning Point Faith. That's important for you to know that, this origin in Liberty University, because I'm going to tell you more in a bit. Now, regarding Eastern Europe, remember that plane that sort of mysteriously, people thought it turned off its transponder. They issued a statement saying they didn't turn off their transponder. It flew from Provo, Utah, into Arizona. And then he said, we were just picking people up. Well, I'm putting that under because in investigating that, I determined that, oh, interesting. They were formally registered. That plane, was formally registered in Romania back in 2013.
Now, keep that in mind. Romania, 2013. Who was in Romania back then? Erika Kirk with the orphans. Lori Fransby with the orphans. Romanian angels with the orphans.
The tail number was then YRNVY, almost looks like Navy there, YRNVY. And then in 2015, so from 2013 to 2015, that plane was registered in Romania. Interesting, okay? Doesn't necessarily mean anything. I'm just telling you that this is when these things have come up. Obviously, we know that Erika Kirk began the Romanian Angels Project in late 2012, early 2013 through...
See? Same date, same time.
to 2015. And obviously you have seen all the TikToks describing the scandal. And to explain that to you, just to kind of separate the myth from the facts of this, I'll tell you what the facts are. The facts are that Lori Francevy established the Everyday Heroes Foundation, which was supposed to help children in need. That was established in Arizona under Erika's mother's name, Lori Francevy.
Now, I may have to beep some stuff out. So if it just goes silent for a second, it's because you know, they're going to start talking about tadpole traffic lights. So to keep me from getting problems with YouTube, I might have to bleep something out, just so you know.
What they decided to do, as charities do, is that they developed certain projects and certain missions. And what spun out from Lori's charity was the Romanian Angels Project.
So that shows you right there, Romanian Angels was specifically Erika's project under her mother's project. So just in case you may ask or think, well, it was maybe her mother. Well, like mother, like daughter. So it's the mother and the daughter. The daughter is only 17 at this time. Erika Francevy does not know what the hell she's doing. She's learning from her disgusting mother. Just keep that in mind.
And they got this deal with the military. They worked with the military in Romania.
Colonel Busher.
To help orphans, okay? Now, it is a fact that they worked with, at that time, Colonel Otto Busher. Colonel Otto Busher was then accused of running a brothel with young children.
All right. Just gotta, okay. I don't want no problems. So y'all know about that. I want to go forward a little bit because, like, she can get away with saying stuff like that, but I can't. So I'm back.
For himself, his sex.
No. Not, we're not gonna say that. I gotta go a little farther.
That say Erika Francevy or Lori were involved in this, but it is a fact that they were working on the Romanian project with Colonel Busher. They thanked him, and then Colonel Busher gets accused of running
you know what. And not one time did anybody condemn Colonel Busher. There's nowhere on any paper, anything on social media, any speech ever where Lori or Erika condemned Colonel Busher for what he did. So I got fast forward a little bit because she's just talking about traffic lights and I can't have that on my channel.
Work with the Romanian government. I am still trying to determine exactly what he was doing with them. I'll have more on that hopefully later. In 2013, Tyler Boyer posted a photo of himself with a Ukrainian orphan named.
See, they all doing the same stuff. They all doing the same mess. And that's why I'm so happy that she's finally talking about this stuff, because it took, I'm like, finally, shit. All of these people love just hanging out with freaking orphans and shit. Let me show y'all this. And it's something y'all seen before, but I just want to add this to the damn fire. They all just love hanging out with damn orphans. All of them.
Moved to Texas at a young age and joined the high school. I became a.
So this is Cutler, Rick Cutler. Remember the guy with the brown shirt that did the little thing when Charlie Kirk passed away? He out here with some damn orphans. So when I say all of them are trash, every last one of these little disgusting ass people are doing the same disgusting shit.
Long Beach, Florida. Moved to Texas at a young age and joined the military just a little bit outside of high school. I became a police officer for the city of Irving in 1990. I spent 30 years at the city of Irving and approximately 22 years on the SWAT team. The Lord led me in 2019 to retire. And
a lot of y'all in the chat, thank y'all for being here. Because earlier, for those who are just coming in, I asked, do you think Charlie Kirk knew about this? And a lot of y'all said no. And y'all are, you know, welcome to say whatever or have your opinion. But if Rick Cutler was doing this orphan stuff. Erika Kirk, before she became Erika Kirk, was doing all this orphan stuff. And then Tyler Boyer was doing this orphan stuff. And then the Cabot dude was doing all this weird stuff. He had pizza tatted in his lip. How do you not know that every single member of your organization all have something to do with the same thing? And you don't know. Rob McCoy got something to do with this mess. And how do y'all say he didn't know? How? Every last person. How?
To go into full-time missions and ministry outside of the United States. And I moved to Guatemala with an organization in natural disaster and relief.
Just because you're smart doesn't mean you have common sense. Hey, you are right. You have a point. You have a point. In my opinion, in the end, Charlie knew most, if not all of it. Man. So right here it said, and I made this video a long time ago. Why is everyone affiliated with Turning Point USA be around kids outside of the country? It's always outside of the country too, because their laws are pro-adult and anti-tadpole.
Staff, my name is Rick Cutler, and I'm applying for the Irish Relief Leadership School in Puerto Rico and in finishing up in Belize. I want to attend the school so I can better prepare myself for the nation.
See, he's in some evangelistical school. I can't say that word to save my life. Evangelistical school. They all want to be military evangelists and help orphans. Every last one of them are military evangelists who want to run around in other countries helping orphans.
I believe Jesus has called each and every one of us to serve the kingdom in our own special way.
And this is why I'm totally against the church, because they use Jesus as a way to manipulate people and get the adults to bring their children to the church. And it's gross.
He has created us for a specific purpose, and I do believe that in the next chapter of my life that
your ass gonna be going to prison. That's the next chapter of your damn life.
This purpose has been revealed. I'm finishing.
Thank you, evangelical. Thank you, evangelical.
A career in law enforcement after 33 or 30 years of serving my community and my nation as a soldier in the United States Army as a military police officer, and as a police officer in the city of Irving as a patrolman and a SWAT. Only serve.
Your children aren't going to be fatherless because I'll be a father to the widow for a few years. You've got to come to Charlie.
My life to
and freaking Rob McCoy, Frank Turek, all of them are, bruh.
To not only serve a community for the kingdom.
That's Charlie. He's alive. And one of the reasons why he had such courage is, what are they going to threaten him with? Heaven?
Yeah, right.
Wait. He had to say 33. What did he say that was 33? Free speech. What did I miss? Free speech. What did I miss? Because I don't want to play it all over again. Free speech. What did I miss? What did he say about 33? I missed something. Y'all are on it. Does anybody remember what he said that was 33? Or free speech? Are you still in here? What did he say that was 33? Come on. Free speech, where you at? What did he say that was 33? I don't want to rewind the whole thing. All right, free speech, come back in. Let me know what he said that was 33. I missed it.
And had God come to Charlie, I believe this wholeheartedly.
The last speaker threw in 33, didn't correct himself. Okay.
If God had come to Charlie and had a personal conversation and said, Charlie, Erika's going to be a widow for a few years before the.
Oh, he spent 33. I got to play it again now. He spent 33 years as a cop
for the kingdom.
Hold on.
And a SWAT member and a SWAT team leader and a SWAT supervisor over and combined in the and a SWAT member and a SWAT team leader and a SWAT supervisor over and combined in the past 30 years.
He said 30, not 33.
And I know it's time for me in this next chapter of my life to not only serve a community for the kingdom.
So he said 30, unless I'm missing something where he said something else, because I don't want to play the whole thing over again, but he said 30.
That's Charlie. He's alive. And one of the reasons why he had such courage is, what are they going to threaten him with? Heaven?
Yeah, right.
And had God come to Charlie, I believe this wholeheartedly. If God had come to Charlie and had a personal conversation and said, Charlie, Erika's going to be a widow for a few years before the Lord, takes her home.
Erika's going to be a widow for a few years before God takes her home. Erika is like 30 or 35. Why is she just going to be a widow for a few years, like 3 years? What, y'all going to do her the same way? She's part of your cult. Y'all going to screw her over too? What the hell? Did y'all hear that shit? What is wrong with these damn people? That's what I'm saying. It's all of them. Look at the little evil ghost person in the middle. Like, Mikey is worse. I think Mikey is like the little boy from The Omen. Look how he just looks deathly unalive.
Courage is, what are they going to threaten him with? Heaven?
Yeah, right.
And had God come to Charlie, I believe this.
No, they're saying when she dies. No, not when she gets remarried. When she dies. Listen.
Wholeheartedly. If God had come to Charlie and had a personal conversation and said, Charlie, Erika's going to be a widow for a few years before.
Now, hear that. Watch this.
Before the Lord, takes her home.
What are y'all talking about? Remarried. Before the Lord takes her home. No. They're talking about unaliving her or her just dying, period. Did y'all hear that? One more time. Y'all talking about before she remarries. No, unless she remarries the Lord.
Charlie, Erika's going to be a widow for a few years before the Lord, takes her home. Because
this is diabolical. They eat their own. They eat their own. They're like praying mantises. You know how praying mantis mate with another praying mantis, and then when they're done mating, the praying mantis eats the head of the other praying mantis? They eat their own. This shit is crazy.
Life is a dash. Your children aren't going to be fatherless because I'll be a father to the fatherless. But
see, he's like, I'm still going to be alive because I'm probably going to be the one that's going to kill you. He literally said that when when Erika Kirk dies in 3 years, I'm going to father you and your dead husband's children because I'm still going to be alive because I'm probably the one that's going to. What in the world? I'm going to take care of your fatherless, motherless children after both of y'all are dead in 3 years.
Yeah, right.
And had God come to Charlie, I believe this wholeheartedly. If God had come to Charlie and had a personal conversation and said, Charlie, Erika's going to be a widow for a few years before the Lord, takes her home because life is a dash. Your children aren't going to be fatherless because I'll be a father to the fatherless. But I'm going to take you home, and from your death, 100 people are going to come to Christ.
Bro. They eat their own. These are like, they just eat their own. They're like bacteria. Mikey McCoy, Rob McCoy, Tyler Boyer, all these damn people are literally like bacteria. They just eat each other.
Charlie would say, okay.
Charlie wouldn't say okay. Well, actually, to be honest with you, Charlie did say okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard Candace Owens repeatedly say that Charlie Kirk, 1, had some weirdo that was telling him that he was going to die, and 2, he told Candace that he's okay with dying soon. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember him saying it or Candace saying it. So, yes, Charlie would say okay because he was saying okay right before he died.
Well, yeah. Who would have thought this many? I mean, this is unbelievable.
That's right. Yeah, it's possible. I don't know the future, but it's possible that.
All right, so let's get back to Candace. This is absolutely crazy. Make sure to hit the like button.
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
She doesn't, he says in the post, or his wife says in the post, current wife says in the post, that she doesn't speak English, Natalia.
Now, back up a little bit. This is when Tyler Boyer went and adopted some random child from another country so he can do who knows what.
Colonel Busher, they thanked him. And then Colonel Busher gets accused of running a Romanian brothel with Romanian children. Those are the facts of that. In 2011, Tyler Boyer also went to Romania to work with the Romanian government. I am still trying to determine exactly what he was doing with them. I'll have more on that hopefully later. In 2013, Tyler Boyer posted a photo of himself with a Ukrainian orphan named Natalia. She doesn't, he says in the post, or his wife says in the post, current wife says in the post, that she doesn't speak English, Natalia. And
now, mind you, Natalia can't speak English. They all just go out in other countries just adopting random children that can't speak English. But it gets worse. There's a reason why they're doing that. There's a reason why they're doing this. And it is so dark.
And he claims to be helping through an adoption agency program, helping her because he speaks Russian. I can show you that photo, actually. We have that photo somewhere. Skylar, can we pull up that photo of that post? Do you have that? Great. Here we go. Just so you guys know we're not making this up. This was posted.
So this is, well, she's going to say it.
By his wife. This is Natalia. She's 12 years old and she's an orphan from Ukraine. She's staying with my friend Aubrey and her family for the holidays through an adoption agency program. She does not speak English, so Tyler was able to go and talk with her in Russian for over an hour tonight. She was shy at first, but by the end of the visit, she was hugging him and asked him not to leave. It was a wonderful yet heartbreaking experience. All at the same time, it makes me so grateful for all that we have. Thank you to the OBS report for letting us be a part of Natalia's stay. Okay. Next, we have Turning Point USA, obviously working with Pastor Greg Laurie, despite Harvest Church being accused of trafficking children from Romania.
Another church. Now it's Harvest Church. It's always a church, y'all. Now do y'all see that I'm so against churches? Are there some good churches out there? Yes. But the possibility of the church being good is extremely low. I'm sure y'all go to great churches, but you have no idea what the church is doing behind your back. Because in my mind, all churches are the devil. But that's just me. So I'm not going to shit on your church, and I'm sure your pastor is great and he's married and he's heterosexual and he's for Jesus, but he's not. But you can believe whatever you want to believe. I said before, all pastors are gay and they're into tadpoles. All of them. And y'all might have family members that are into stuff. I mean, into evangelical stuff. But guess what? All of us also have family members that have M-worded other family members inside of our family, and none of us say anything about that family member that we know is doing that to another family member. So when you sit here and look at your pastor and says, my pastor would never do that, your uncle did it. Everybody has a family member that has done some disgusting shit to one of your other family members, and you let that go. So just keep in mind what your loving brain would allow to happen. So if you will allow your uncle, your grandfather, or whoever is presently in your family, and you ain't putting him in jail because you know what he did, and some of you, he did it to you, you're going to have that same forgiving and oblivious spirit to your own pastor. So I'll say it again with my chest. All pastors are gay and all pastors are into tadpoles. Why? Because they go to these evangelical schools on purpose to do this disgusting ass shit. You can go be a lawyer, you go be a plumber, you go be an electrician. Who the hell wants to be a damn pastor? Men that are into little boys or other shit. All pastors are gay and into tadpoles. I got to make sure I don't say anything crazy. I said it and I'll say it again in another video, in another video, in another video. For any man to want to go to an evangelical school to be over all these people, he's gay and is into little boys. Sorry. Not sorry. Go to your pastor and give them the video. I don't care. All of them are gay. All of them. Your pastor is gay.
Okay, sure. He says that's not true. That's not what we were doing. People say, yeah, it's exactly what you were doing. We don't know. We don't have a verdict on that because that's happening currently. Andrew Colvett's brother, Curtis, is currently stationed in Romania as a lieutenant colonel. We have Tyler Boyer, who holds a degree in Russian studies and is fluent in Russian, which is similar to Astrid Tumanez, by the way, the president of UVU. She also holds a degree in Russian studies and is fluent in Russian. And I should mention she's an orphaned child. Might be relevant, might not be relevant. Who knows?
Exactly. These people get jobs so they can be around children. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. And I just want to say this. You can believe whatever you want to believe. Don't unsubscribe. Don't hate me. Don't cancel me. This is my belief. You're welcome to have a totally opposite belief than me. So if you believe differently, we all can be a community. I have no problem with that. Okay? So you can think something totally different than me and still be here and enjoy the content, okay? But I need y'all to understand that these people get jobs specifically so they can be around freaking children. All pastors are gay. All of them. Well, the male ones. All pastors are gay. I'll say it over again. I'll say it again. All pastors are gay. All pastors are gay. All of them. They go to school so they can be around tadpoles. They're gay. They're worse than gay because gay isn't bad. Into little boys is bad. So it's worse than, because being gay is not a bad thing. Being into little boys is a bad thing. But I can't just say that because YouTube might block my video. But I mean the little boy stuff and not just being into men, okay? Because a man that's into a man, he's not a bad person. There's nothing wrong with the LGBT community. I mean, they're into tadpoles, okay? So I just want to make sure y'all understand that. These pastors go to evangelical schools so they can be around single mothers and their children.
Rob McCoy, I don't know if you know this, but he adopted a 12-year-old girl named Natalia. She now goes by Natasha, from Russia around 2006. Okay, so I don't know. It's these are just facts. I'm delivering the facts here. Now, regarding trafficking, sex abuse, N88 KG, which is now currently owned by Derek and Shalane Maxfield, they run Sapria, which is a child abuse charity.
Now we're getting in the meat and potatoes of this right here. Now we're not just talking about the churches anymore. We're now talking about the tadpole abuse Mormon situations where they're like, hey, let me help you have this baby and let me find a good family for the baby. And it's not that simple. You know how the girls say, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. It's a selling thing. It's a store. It's a Amazon, as you will, for tadpoles. So what they do is they have these little Mormon churches to bring in young girls who don't got pregnant, and their parents are like, how dare you get pregnant? You got to get out. Oh, come to my church or my Mormon place. Come here and we'll help you have your baby. And next thing you know, the second you have your baby, they Amazon that shit. You know what I'm saying? The Amazon for babies type shit. Shit's crazy. Baby Amazon. So we're about to get into baby Amazon.
They're helping children that have been abused, a sex abuse charity. And then I told you guys about Colonel Otto Buscher, who was accused of running a brothel with Romanian children from 2011 to 2015 at a military base in Romania, I should say. Not a Romanian military base, an American military base in Romania. And yes.
And I just want to say this, y'all. This video is probably going to get demonetized because of what we're talking about. Hence the reason why a lot of other content creators would rather stay on the exploding mics and the ballistics because that's kind of safe. If y'all love my content, make sure to contribute to the channel via Cash App or via Super Chat. I'll read the Super Chats in a minute because this video most likely is going to get demonetized. So it is what it is because we're talking about tadpole traffic lights. And that's the main thing I'll talk about over here. And sadly, a lot of my videos get monetized because I refuse to stop talking about tadpole traffic lights. But that's why I'm in this, because of the tadpoles, because of the children, but I get demonetized every now and then. So when I talk about subjects like this and I go so deep, I get, see, somebody's saying I'm frozen. See what I'm saying? I start having trouble with YouTube when I get deep with these tadpole traffic light conversations. So put a 1 in the chat if y'all can see me and hear me because somebody said I froze. So hit the Cash App if y'all want to support. Okay, I'm not frozen. Okay, but hit the Cash App if y'all would like to support my channel because I be getting demonetized like a mug.
He worked with Romanian angels during that time period. Civilian commander, stationed at Fort Huachuca, a civilian commander that was stationed at Fort Huachuca, David Frodsham, was charged with running a child sex abuse ring. That is true. TPUSA Faith works with Pastor Greg Laurie, as I told you. They are currently embroiled in a
Candace, okay. Somebody says Candace don't get demonetized. What happens when you're the biggest YouTuber on YouTube and you're famous? You think they're going to demonetize you, Candace? Everybody knows who Candace is, including YouTube. So when Candace has an issue with YouTube, I'm sure she can call like the head of YouTube, the head of whatever department that demonetizes videos and stuff, and be like, hey, I need you to fix that. And they be like, oh, sorry. I don't have no phone number to those people. All right. So just understand, Candace Owens has the most views on YouTube, or she has the biggest podcast, period. The #1 podcast in the world, not in the country, in the world. So she can easily just hit somebody up and say, hey, I need you to fix that. And it goes, I don't have nobody to do that. All right. So I'm not Candace. So shout out to Candace. Candace gets 1 million views every day. She gets 2-3 million views every day. You don't think she has a phone number to the person she's making a whole bunch of money for? So keep that in mind.
A trafficking scandal. George Zinn was arrested, and then it was determined that he had pornographic images. That's our decoy boy, of children on his phone. And as I told you, he told people at the hospital that he was treated at
that somebody told him to jump around, act crazy, and pull down his pants at, right after Charlie Kirk was unalived. So George Zinn has a lot to do with all this stuff also.
That he would be paid if he did this. That he
Yes, Mikey McCoy's wife is from Ukraine. Yes, Ukraine is like a huge tadpole traffic light hub. Yes, Ukraine has a lot to do with this.
Know where the money was coming from, but all he had to do was jump up and down and say, it was me, it was me. Andrew Piscadlo, you might remember that name because early on pictures were circulating of him and people thought that he could have been the shooter because he was wearing the suit and people thought he maybe had a weapon in his bag. It ended up being that he was photographing, he was taking pictures. He was a photographer, not hired by Turning Point USA. But he has rang the alarm before on military Ukrainian sex trafficking that is happening in the United States. If you go through his Instagram, he has said this is what's happening currently. They're trafficking children from.
So do y'all see all of these different people are connected to Turning Point USA? All of these people are connected to Turning Point USA, y'all. Shout out to Fabio Latore. I cannot say your name properly, so my apologies. But thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. I hate getting people's names wrong. Creepy Rob said, "Hope they not his kids." Ooh, ooh. Rob McCoy said that.
So that came up when I was looking into him early on. Obviously, I've covered extensively Calvary Chapel Church, riddled with pastor abuse stories. I mean, it's
hundreds of Calvary Chapel churches that are stuck into this stuff. Hold on, let's see. I think it's 1,000 of them. How many Calvary Chapel churches has been? Let me see. How many Calvary Chapel churches have been caught up in sex scandals? It says numerous individual Calvary Chapel churches have gotten caught up in different or multiple sex scandals. Okay. Calvary Chapel, Costa Mesa, California. Calvary Chapel in Rathdrum Prairie, Idaho. That's another one. I'm just giving y'all examples because I don't want y'all thinking I'm just making stuff up. Y'all can look up this yourselves. Calvary Gospel Church in Madison, Wisconsin. Calvary Chapels of the Woodlands. Calvary Chapel in Boise, Idaho, and it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And that's the reason why they needed Turning Point Faith, because they're converting Calvary Chapel churches to Turning Point Faith to give them a cleaner umbrella so they can keep doing this disgusting mess that they've been doing. Because like I said, these churches are disgusting cesspools of the same thing. So if you go to church, cool. But just know what they're doing behind your back. And they are.
It's a thing. Okay. And then obviously we know Rob McCoy was trying to rehabilitate somebody who actually went to prison.
Do y'all want to see that video? I want to show y'all that video real quick. I want to show y'all that video. Oh, I got it right here. I want to show y'all the video and we'll come back.
I do not trust
I just want to show y'all that video
at all for many reasons, because
it's right here. Let's see. Is this the video? No, it's not this video. All right, I'll come back to it. I thought I had it up.
he said he found the Lord and decided to put him into homes with children via Calvary Chapel. There's a lot of rehabilitating people who have an issue with abusing children, I would say, at the Calvary Chapel Church. It's problematic. And I'm putting Glenn Beck and Tim Ballard's Operation Underground here. Actually, I learned about Operation Underground. That was introduced to me by Marissa Straight over at PragerU. She asked me to interview Tim Ballard before he had to step down from the charity, which was a child trafficking charity dedicated to rescuing children from being trafficked in war-torn areas. Glenn Beck was the initial investment, as the story was told to me when I was at PragerU, when I interviewed him. Obviously, we know Glenn Beck has interviewed Erika Kirk. We know that Glenn Beck, also his children were there at UVU when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was one of the first people to speak out about that on the news on September 10th. And Tim Ballard's name strangely came up when we were looking into Phil Lyman. And we learned that he paid Tim Ballard a visit in the days following the assassination, which was just, Tim Ballard's name coming up was just interesting to me, because I was like, oh, he runs also a child trafficking charity. It's a lot of that happening. And also I should mention Derek and Shalane Maxfield, who run this abuse charity.
And I want to say something about Phil Lyman for a second. After rigorous investigation of looking at all the characters, at one point I was like, got him, Phil Lyman. But throughout this whole time, I have not found anything involving any of this connected to Phil Lyman. So I think if I made a video talking about somebody having to do with something and I come to find out that they weren't a part of it, they weren't over here or in the picture or whatever, I have to come out and say it wasn't Phil Lyman. So I remember I did a video about Phil Lyman because that's what Candace just said. Phil Lyman, to the best of my knowledge, is not caught up in any of this. And he's in Utah, and his family, like it was something about Tyler Robinson walking down the street and Phil Lyman's aunt seen him on a Ring camera, and we all kind of like started attacking Phil Lyman like locusts because it was Phil Lyman's aunt that seen so-and-so. I mean, Robert, the little boy, Tyler Robinson, on a damn Ring camera, and he kind of like got attacked by everybody in the Scooby-Doo show, everybody in the group. But to my knowledge, to the best of my knowledge, Phil Lyman has nothing to do with any of this, because, but if Candace thinks he has something to do with it, that's on Candace. I haven't seen anything. And until I see anything, because like I said, we kind of like went down a rabbit hole on every last one of these individuals, and I didn't find anything about Phil Lyman. So Phil Lyman has nothing to do with this, to the best of my knowledge. I just want to say that, because he caught all kinds of strays simply because he was like a congressperson in Utah.
In their profile pictures, they were wearing an Operation Underground shirt. So people are very passionate, I would say, about trafficking and putting together organizations to stop trafficking in this.
So the thing about it is that the stopping the traffic lights can turn around and be, like
story. Now, in terms of our military connection, it is extensive. Like I said, this is by no means a definitive list. I put this together today. Andrew Colvet's brother and cousin are captains in the military: Curtis Colvet and Robert Colvet, Rob McCoy's father, Roy Edgar McCoy.
Hold on. See, this is the thing that was wrong. He was not in Romania with Erika Kirk due to the fact of his age, because the person in that picture was somewhat Erika Kirk's age, and Phil Lyman is like 55 or something. So that picture was not Phil Lyman, and that's kind of like what I'm saying. We all started attacking him, and he didn't do nothing, because in that picture, that person was way younger than Phil Lyman, and that's the reason why I'm saying Phil Lyman had nothing to do with this. It could have been. I'm trying to figure out who it was, and y'all know what the picture is. I can show y'all the picture, but that wasn't Phil Lyman.
McCoy ran psychological operations for naval intelligence.
Hold on, let me back it up a little bit because I've been running my mouth.
Rob McCoy's father, Roy Edgar McCoy, ran psychological operations for naval intelligence to shape.
Now look at this. Rob McCoy's father was running intelligence on how to shape people's opinions and narratives in the culture. Watch this.
Assassination, which was just Tim Ballard's name coming up, was just interesting to me, because I was like, oh, he runs also a child trafficking charity. It's a lot of that happening. And also I should mention Derek and Shalane Maxfield, who run this abuse charity. In their profile pictures, they were wearing an Operation Underground shirt. So people are very passionate, I would say, about trafficking and putting together organizations to stop trafficking.
And it's almost like pastor stuff. Like, if you just think about what a church actually is, it's a guy that operates as a liaison or a person that helps you get to heaven, right? But what is he doing while he's trying to get you to heaven? Fucking the women in the church. Having little kid things downstairs, because always downstairs in the church, and you know, and doing weird stuff. So it's always the liaison that is trying to get the trust of the people that need the help, and then they're the ones that are actually hurting the damn people. So when you do the advocates for the tadpole traffic lights, they're the ones that are traffic lighting the tadpoles. Shit is crazy. Hold on, Ian. What happened? What happened with Ian? Shout out to Ian. Ian thinks it might be the mic theory now. That's cool. I'm just not really, I'll get into the mic theory probably later, but I got to stay into this. I'm gonna be working on this for probably another 2 months, because we got to find out. We got to stop this shit. See, I'm not really here to just put out theories and pontifications. I actually want some of these people to go to prison, and I care about the tadpoles. I don't care about no damn mic. Because later on, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, but to a certain degree, who really cares? He dead or he ain't, and whatever. The kids are the ones that are suffering. Charlie Kirk ain't suffering. These kids are suffering, presently suffering.
In this story. Now, in terms of our military connection, it is extensive. Like I said, this is by no means a definitive list. I put this together today. Andrew Colvet's brother and cousin are captains in the military, Curtis Colvet and Robert Colvet. Rob McCoy's father, Roy Edgar McCoy.
Andrew Colvet, Rob McCoy, all these damn people.
Ran psychological operations for naval intelligence to shape public perception.
To shape public perception. Psychological. They study military psychological ways to shape public perception. The same way pastors do. It's all the same thing. It's the cult-like behavior or the cult leader type of behavior. And Rob McCoy and all these other pieces of crap, they go on in their pulpit and they start saying, Jesus wants you to do this, and Jesus wants you to do that. And then Jesus would want this, and Jesus would want that. You see the manipulation? You see the psychological manipulation in what Jesus would want you to do? It's all psychological manipulation. Churches are psychological manipulation hubs. It's freaking disgusting. Jesus would stop. Leave me alone. I don't care what Jesus would want me to do. I'm not mad at Jesus. I'm mad at the person trying to manipulate me through Jesus. Shout out to Jesus.
His son, Danny McCoy, is currently in the military. And
they all are in the military pastors.
And yeah, he had a whole naval fleet named after him, actually. So top dog. We obviously know Erika Kirk has been open about the fact that her mother and her father do defense-related military work. It's why she moved to Arizona in the first place, because they had contracts with the DoD, and we know that her father has worked with Raytheon. The Farnsworth family has extensive military connections. I will add more about that later, and we will cover that later because the Farnsworth family in general is important to the story.
1000%. Hold on. We got to stop the live for 1 second.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the cash app. Cash app. Thank you for the cash app.
Thank you to Lawrence. Thank you to Lawrence for the $100 cash app. One more time.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the cash app. Cash app. Thank you for the cash app.
Lawrence, thank you so much for the $100 cash app. I appreciate that. Cash app is scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and also Cash App. The link for my Cash App is in the chat also. So shout out to you. Thank you.
Dr. Frank Turek was a naval flight officer for 8 years. His son, Frank Turek III, is a deputy division chief, at the Joint Chief of Staffs in DC. His other son, Spencer, is an Air Force vet. He was on the phone with, I think he said, both of his sons. Someone yesterday. I was contacted by them many times via email, pleading for me to call. She was pleading for me to call her. It wasn't really clear to me as to why there seemed to be a panic.
So this right here is absolutely crazy, y'all.
She was seemingly triggered by a video regarding Trump pageantry. Okay, the video in question is not controversial, and she has no connection to the person in the video, which was Erika Kirk, simply discussing how she got involved with the Trump pageant world. Hence why I was not exactly seeing the big picture. She doesn't know Erika. She had nothing to say about how Erika knew Trump pageants, but her speaking about it was triggering for her. Anyways, after a lot of back forth, I decided to just call her. I had some time yesterday to see why Trump pageantry in general was so triggering to her. And she began to tell me a story that was quite unbelievable at first, until I did some research. This woman, whose identity I'm going to protect at this moment, was a young teenager in the 90s, and she had landed herself in a bit of trouble. She wound up with a probation officer, and she also got pregnant, and they essentially told her, hey, you're either going to get your life together, sort of this ultimatum, we could send you to juvie, or you could go away, and we'll give you an opportunity here. There's this amazing new program that's being run out of Liberty University, which helps troubled teens, which you are a troubled teen. She was 13 at this time. So obviously they made the decision for her to take the option. It's like when the judge says, hey, you can go to rehab or you can go to prison. Obviously, I'm going to go to rehab. So she chose to go down to Lynchburg, Virginia, while she was pregnant, to live in a house with other troubled girls who were being helped through a program that was known as the Godparent Program. It still is a thing today. Effectively, they help these young women on who are struggling with various other things, but particularly with her and the women that she was sharing rooms with, their pregnancy journey.
All right, y'all hear what's about to happen, right? Remember I told you at first is one thing about the crooked churches, but now we have these pregnant young teen mom liaison places where young girls go to this place and they'll help them find a nice family for their baby, and it's literally a baby Amazon type of situation. So yeah, they just ship your baby out like it's an Amazon package, and it's crazy, man.
And
make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the like button.
They offer to help place their children into adoptive Christian homes.
See, baby Amazon. Baby Amazon, shipping them right out. You have the baby and they'll ship it right out, and it'll get to your doorstep in less than 2 days. This is crazy. Remember, we're still talking about Turning Point USA and all the people that are connected to Turning Point USA. Keep that in mind.
Should they choose not to keep their children? Sounds nice enough. That seems like,
But they actually don't have a choice whether they choose or not choose. And you'll see what's about to happen next.
Christian spirit, pro-life, and don't have an abortion. Instead, we can have a home for your child to be raised in.
Pro-Amazon.
But things got pretty weird after that. And I want you to listen to what she told me in this conversation, which I recorded. And yes, I have her permission to share this conversation. I'm sorry if this sounds, not too clear. We tried to make it as clear as possible. And let's just roll it. It's going to be quite long, but it's very important. Take a listen.
When I got to the Liberty Godparent home, which is what took me in 94, they used to lie.
And put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear this clearly. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear this clearly. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear this clearly.
Lock us in our room 24 hours a day. We were locked in our room. We weren't allowed visitors. We weren't allowed people at our home. I didn't have no visitors because I didn't have no family there, of course. And I'm shaking. I didn't have no family there, so I didn't have nobody. They used to take weird pictures of us.
So you hear her, right? She says she had no family. That's how they start. They take you away from your family. Well, to be honest with you, a lot of times the family wasn't there in the first place. A lot of these young women are displaced. The Romanian Angels orphanage stuff. So some of these girls didn't even have a family in the first place. That's how they get them. All of them run around wanting to help a damn orphan.
How old were you?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
How old were you?
I had to be 13, 14.
Okay, and who took pictures?
79.
Who took pictures of you?
Senior. And then
the senior pastors.
His face looked familiar, but he looked older now. And you're talking 30 years ago,
Mm-hmm. But Jerry Falwell Sr. was the one actually taking the photos?
Yeah, I remember him and his wife there, but another thing weird about it is I never thought about what happened the night morning I delivered my baby. Everything was weird. And I think about it now, it's all weird to me. But then it wasn't, because I was only 13, 14 years old.
Right.
I made mistakes. I mean, I totally turned my life around. I have 4 kids now, 2 grandbabies, but
I want to go back to, so what was weird about that night that you gave birth?
Oh gosh, the night before. Okay, so they have a live-in mother, 24 hours. I called there a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. This is what's weird. I called there right after I prayed. I called there because this video of Erika came up with Trump, and you have to get invited. And I was like, how in the world did I get invited? And to this day, I still don't know how in the world I got invited to that and what pictures they had of me.
Interesting.
Now I'm mistaken again.
Okay. Okay, so you had the baby.
And somebody brought up the Wayfair scandal. This is how, because Wayfair is still a thing. I don't know if you know that. So if you go on Wayfair, this is kind of like what was going on for those who don't know. High prices. Users noted that certain items, such as industrial size cabinets or a chair or a random table, will be like $10,000 or $14,000. And that's kind of like what was going on in the scandal. The product names, the items were often given human names. So it'd be like a table would have a girl name or something, or a beanbag chair would be named Elizabeth or some shit, right? So it was like names corresponding to missing tadpoles. So it'd be a missing tadpole and it'd be the name of a damn table or something. And then the SKU numbers, SKU, some suggested that searching for products with a SKU number on a Russian search engine produced images of tadpoles. All right. So just to give you a understanding of what the Wayfair scandal had to do with all of this stuff. So yeah. And it goes along with the pizza, pizza is code word for girl, so this is how they get through or get packages through. They order pizza and shit. It's crazy.
And what was weird about that night?
Okay, the night before like I said, they have house mothers, and I can't remember details, but I remember them doing.
She said they had house mothers. House mothers, as in other women. Keep that in mind, because y'all always look at men as the big bad wolves, like men are these terrible people. Y'all hear that, right? House mothers. In every strip club, it's house mothers. In this little place here, it was house mothers. In every pimp hole scenario, it's a house girl the madams. So I just want y'all to understand that this is not just men are the big bad wolves. These are house mothers are the main ones that maintain the women and gain the trust of the girls to give the baby up and all this other stuff. Can't no man tell you what to do with your baby, because the first thing you're going to do is like, why do you want my baby? But if it's a woman who's just like, I've been a mother before, it's okay, you can give your baby up, you're too young to deal with all this, I understand, I was your, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you're like, oh, okay, here's my baby. And then boom, baby out on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I just want to remind y'all of that. The men are not the only big bad wolves. It's men and women.
And to this day, I still don't know how in the world I got invited to that and what pictures they had of me.
Interesting.
Now I'm mistaken again.
Okay. Okay, so you had the baby, and what was weird about that night?
Okay, the night before like I said, they have house mothers, and I can't remember details, but I remember them doing, putting the probe on, listening to heartbeat pretty much.
And if you can't hear what she's saying, you could just simply watch it, because I have subtitles here because it was difficult to hear.
Doing ultrasound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to this day, I've had 4 other kids, plenty of ultrasounds, so I know what they were doing was funny to me, because everything was fine that night, and then they moved me, which was weird. They moved me to another room by myself.
Okay.
At that time, I had another girl with me. There's all these different girls there, and some of them don't even speak English.
How many girls live in that house?
Back then there was about like between 12 and 15 on one house, but you're talking anywhere.
William says, I suspect Erika more than Charlie. Exactly. That's what I'm saying right there. Yes, I suspect Erika way more than Charlie. And some of y'all might be like, oh, you hate women because I'm on Erika's case. Well, Erika is the CEO of Turning Point USA. I'll say it again. Erika Kirk, which is a woman, and her damn mama, she is a CEO of Turning Point USA. It's Erika and Lori Franzve. You don't hear nothing about Kent Franzve. It's about Lori Franzve.
From
women
age 12 to like 21 years old, you know. I think at that time I was the youngest, but.
And some of them didn't speak English?
Yeah, there was a couple girls, you know, they didn't speak English, but we weren't allowed to, that's another thing, we weren't allowed to like talk to the other girls.
That's how they used to do slaves back in the day. They would put slaves with other slaves that didn't speak the same language, so they couldn't necessarily speak to each other and plan things. So this is a form of how they treated slaves back in the day. But this is what I'm saying, y'all.
We were only allowed, like certain girls were on one certain side of the hallway, certain girls were on the other certain side of the hallway. Back then we had to either call collect or use quarters.
Okay.
On a payphone, you know. They didn't allow us to use the regular phones. They treated us like slaves, but the next morning, it's like they knew something was going to happen to my baby or something, because the next morning, I all of a sudden didn't have a heartbeat and I had to go in. But the strange thing about it is their daughter, this is another thing I thought about, their daughter is a high doctor at the Liberty or at some university.
There it goes. The doctor, I told y'all that Charlie Kirk's doctor was on some weird stuff. The doctor was a graduate of the same Liberty University that Erika Kirk and them attended. It's all the same thing. And remember, Jerry Falwell and Jerry Falwell Jr., they were over all of this stuff. This is disgusting, man. See, I got daughters. This shit just hurts my heart.
Some hospital in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Okay.
And back then, if I remember correctly, their daughter was like one of the house mothers.
Okay.
And
their daughter was one of the house mothers. The cult. You can't get away from the cult. You can't get away from the cult.
I'm wondering if their daughter was like my nurse or nurse lady and gave me something. I miscarried because, see, the thing is they coerced us to give up the baby because they got money for their adoption. It was some kind of.
They got money for the adoption. It's time to ship that thing up out of there. With all respect, I don't want anybody to be like, you're insensitive. I don't mean thing as in the baby is not a person, but that's what they do. That's why I was saying the baby FedEx is what they do. They don't care about the baby. We care about the baby. They don't. It's almost like they're using these women like cattle in a way. You know, they're using these women like cattle. You get the milk from the cow, you get the baby from the cow, and then, you know, man, it's crazy.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if their daughter was like my nurse or nurse lady and gave me something. I miscarried because, see, the thing is they coerced us to give up the baby because they got money for their adoption. It was some kind of adoption ring. I didn't know nothing about it. Okay. But my thing was is that I kept telling them, no, I wanted to keep my baby because I had a 3-year-old nephew and I had took care of him. I thought I could mother. And
now, right here, she's like, no, I don't want to give my baby up for adoption. And they like, well, you don't really have a choice, little lady. You 15 years old. You can't take care of a child. What are you talking about? No. You got to get a baby up for adoption. And she's like, but I want my baby. Mm.
It wasn't for me, okay? Honestly, I was too young.
Okay.
But still, I have questions because now I keep seeing stuff and I'm like, why are all these videos coming up on my feeds for no reason, you know?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are you saying that you miscarried the baby?
Yeah. But I was further along and they kept telling me I had to hurry up and make up my mind and make up my decision because I'm running out of time. I have to hurry it up. And I'm like, why do I have to hurry it up?
Hurry what up? Hurry what up?
Decide if I want to adopt the baby out. They kept showing me folders of people's faces. Would you like your baby to be with this person, or would you like to go raise your baby somewhere else or on the streets? Or
okay, and then here's a question for you: how far along were you when you miscarried?
You know, I was asking my mom that, and truthfully, I have called down there to find myself, to find dates out, and I can't even find myself actually in their system. That's another thing that's weird.
You don't know how pregnant you were when you had a miscarriage?
Well, I can tell you I was probably, they had to induce the labor.
Okay.
I had to deliver. So if that tells you I was over 3-4 months.
Well, Liberty University is involved. And you hear she broke down crying several times throughout the conversation. There was obviously real pain there. And what's really interesting is that she told me thereafter that while she can pull all of her court records, Liberty University is sort of like, you know, it's all electronic now. You're talking about the 90s. We can't find you. We can't find you. You had a baby in a house when you were 13 years old and we can't find you. By the way, where's the baby buried? I asked that question to her and she said what happened after she gave birth was they called her mom and they said that she's got to go. You're telling me they moved you into a room and they induced labor after you said, I don't want to give up my child. They induced labor. They told you that there was no heartbeat mysteriously right after you made the decision that you didn't want to give up your child.
Yes, and remember, when you don't want to give your child up for adoption, that's when they get mad. That's when they get mad. When they get mad, you don't have a choice. You had a choice at first.
Child for adoption, you felt like you were being pressured. Now there's no heartbeat. They induce labor. You never see your son. That just said she had a son. She never saw anything. They tell your mom she's got to pick you up ASAP. That's what she goes on to tell me, because they didn't want the other young women to be traumatized learning that she had a miscarriage. What happens when there's a induced labor at Liberty University? This is unbelievable. Now, why she was triggered when she heard Erika speaking about Trump pageantry, to connect that dot for you, is because Erika had said, you know, you have to submit your pictures. Well, she goes back home. She's still a teenager. And 2 years later, she gets an invite to join Trump pageant world. But she doesn't know how they got her picture. She doesn't know how they got her picture. She wasn't taking pictures. She wasn't trying to be in pageant world. And so that's what triggered her and went, wait a second, how did they get my picture? Why were they taking these weird pictures? She's sure they probably said to her at the time at that house, like, so that we can submit your picture to the Christian adoptive families, whatever it is. But it sort of clicked to her that that's kind of odd that I got this invitation to join Trump pageant world. Now, for those of you who have followed our Epstein series, we spoke about this. Xavier Poussard showed that this was one of his mechanisms. Jeffrey Epstein, Israel's guy, would go find organizations where there were tons of young women that were coming through, and he would pump money into them, like Victoria's Secret.
Young women that would come through like they're cattle or something. I just want y'all to just listen to how, like, young women would just come through like they're just being shipped in and shipped back out like freaking cattle. This is absolutely disgusting.
And maybe some trafficking happened. By the way, the history of pageantry, for those of you that don't know, it's child sex trafficking. It's the carnies. It's P.T. Barnum and Bailey in America. What was going on at carnivals, historically speaking, was very dark stuff. Very dark stuff.
Yep.
Anyways, in case you aren't believing the story, because we know what happens next, they do the Mitch Snow thing. Oh, she's crazy. She's making this up. It's all an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the good thing is that there's actually an entire podcast series that is currently investigating this godparent program at Liberty University. And these women have done incredible work, so much work that it actually got picked up locally in Virginia by ABC News. Take a listen.
So before we get into that, I just want you to just digest what was going on, and we'll keep going. This woman was like, I don't know if I want to give my child up for adoption, right? And then they start trying to induce her labor. And she's like, I want to keep my baby. Then all of a sudden, this happens.
No.
This is all she hears.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and remember, it's the den mother or the whatever mother, right? Just trying to be all nice. I think I want to keep my baby. I think I'll be a great mother. So I just want to keep the baby. And then she hears, and you're like, but I want to keep my baby. Why can't I want to, we just want to induce your labor. And, you know, and then all of a sudden what happened with the lady that was talking was, oh my God, we just checked the heartbeat and there's no heartbeat. So we have to induce the labor. And next thing you know, they induce the labor and they're like, we have some bad news. Little baby, whatever, didn't make it. I'm so sorry. And she's like, oh my God, it didn't make you, my son, right? And unbeknownst to her, the baby did make it. And I didn't mean that to be funny. I just want y'all to know that's how it looks. That's how it looks. Or I assume it looks. It's like, no. You know, it's like this soft tone of, no, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. But I want to keep my baby. No. You can't do that. You know, I ain't play that to be funny. I played it to give y'all an understanding of the tonality of what the den mothers were possibly conveying to her when she said, I want to keep my baby. You know, I think the movie Get Out was like a great understanding of how cults look, how they feel. And if you remember, everybody was on the same page. And whenever you turn around and say, yo, I don't know about this. And that's kind of like what happened in the bedroom with that girl, with a lady. And you're like, I don't know about this. This is crazy. And then she starts to say, with this weird smile. And then you like, oh, okay, so it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. So it's a morbid smile that these young girls were probably getting from these den mothers. So no, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was dead ass serious. This is kind of like what happened in real time with her. Let's keep going.
Home, a place for young, single, pregnant women, is defending itself against allegations of coercion and manipulation.
A new podcast called Liberty Lost alleges some of the young women felt pressured to place their children for adoption. ABC 13's Rachel Branning investigates.
The Liberty Godparent home is tucked away on Liberty Mountain Drive. The maternity home was founded by Jerry Falwell Sr. in the 80s as part of a pro-life ministry at Thomas Road Baptist Church. Now it's the focal point of the podcast, Liberty Lost.
What inspired you to investigate this in the first place?
For the last 2 years, I've been investigating the maternity home after connecting with several residents who went through the home as pregnant teenage girls, both in the 1990s and in 2008.
One of those residents, Abby Johnson. At 16, she got pregnant.
Finding out I was pregnant was traumatic and shocking and not something I had any preparation for mentally, socially, emotionally.
Her parents sent her across the country to Liberty Godparent Home with the promise of a scholarship to Liberty University after all was said and done.
I really can't describe the sense of abandonment and fear and disassociation that you experience when your family abandons you, all the while calling it something like good for you and like, this is a plan.
Johnson says she wanted to keep her son. However, she felt the home already made the decision to go the adoption route.
Did you ever really feel like you had a choice? No, I felt that I was put in really terrifying moments of being given an opportunity.
Sorry about that. Wrong thing. Hit the wrong button by mistake.
And how I thought I could pull it off.
He says the godparent home shouldn't have ties to an adoption agency. According to city records, the godparent home and the Family Life Services Adoption Agency share an address.
They share the same address because they're the same damn people. They're the same damn people. They're not supposed to be connected to an adoption agency because that's literally, you don't turn the whole situation in the FedEx or Amazon or some shit now.
To go the adoption route.
Did you ever really feel like you had a choice? No, I felt that I was put in really terrifying moments of being given an opportunity to explain to an adult that had a different opinion how I thought I could pull it off.
He says the godparent home shouldn't have ties to an adoption agency. According to city records, the godparent home and the Family Life Services Adoption Agency share an address. Thomas Road Baptist Church founded Family Life Services, according to their website.
Again, the woman that I spoke to, you can see she was there when it was Jerry Falwell Sr., who we're going to speak about in a little bit because I'm going to connect even more dots. We all felt, for some reason, spiritually sick watching AmFest, right? This feels like something else. Like they just keep saying that this is about God and this is about the Lord and this is about, almost like they were trying to turn Charlie into a messianic figure. Right. And yet we felt darkness there. We felt darkness. We felt like this was actually about money. We felt like we were being deluded. We felt like it was a Las Vegas convention. And I had been speaking throughout the last year, even before Charlie Kirk got assassinated. I dedicated a lot of time in this podcast to speaking to you about this veneer of Christianity. Operation Mocking Pastor, we termed it. And we really saw them start to ratchet that up after Charlie Kirk's assassination. These influencers. Well, this is the Lord. This is what the Lord would want.
Yep. That's how they do it. And it's absolutely disgusting. And like I said, it's all cult-like. See, some of you look at this world as, innocent. And a lot of it is beautiful. Like you go outside, the sun is out, it's a beautiful day. So yeah, but the problem is the demons are the humans. See, I don't believe there's a devil. I think the devils are just this human nature of people wanting to control other humans. So that's how I look at it. All right. So let's see. All right. Since I got the $100 Cash App, and Cash App is scrolling across the bottom of the screen if you want to contribute, I'm going to play the Candace song, and I'm going live again at about 7:00. Oh, I already got it right here. So I'm going live again at 7:00. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not already.
Evil scumbag. She's a fucking As we all know, Candace Owens is in a lot of suggestion. We can't keep.
Candace Owens is a evil scumbag.
All right, before I play this, everybody say in the chat, I stand with Candace. I stand with Candace. Everybody drop I stand with Candace in the chat.
Candace Owens is a evil scumbag. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit.
As we all know, Candace Owens is in a lot of suggestion. We can't keep spinning conspiracy theories without evidence. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt.
Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? If you got something to say, tell it to her face. If you got something to say, tell it to her face. All of this is fake and gay, and you know it. I got all the evidence. I'm about to show it. You projecting all your guilt out on us and Candace. We just trying to solve the case. I don't understand it. But things not turning out how you planned it. We can see it in your eyes and your body language. I see all the threats that you keep sending me, but underneath the jail is where you finna be. Your band of crooked pastors in the pulpit. Every time you speak, all I hear is bullshit. Tell the truth about Charlie Kirk instead of telling me to stop. All I wanna know is which guy took the shot. I need an answer to a question only you would know. Was Charlie Kirk's life a reenactment of the Truman Show? Truman Show, Truman Show. 100,000 of us on your head tie. Please stop trying to feed us all this fed slide. Your grieving widow book tour, we ain't listening to it. And free Tyler Robinson, cause you know he didn't do it. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace.
She's betrayed us. She's doing something else. I can't believe it. This has all just been a show. Calm down, okay? What do you think happened? Well, Erika said stop, and then I was frozen for 4 hours and 30 minutes, just like.
Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? If you got something to say, tell it to her face. If you got something to say, tell it to her face. All this is fake and gay, and you know it. I got all the evidence, I'm about to show it. You projecting all your guilt out on us and Candace. We just trying to solve the case, I don't understand it. Are things not turning out how you planned it? We can see it in your eyes and your body language. I see all the threats that you keep sending me, but underneath the jail is where you finna be. Your band of crooked pastors in the pulpit. Every time you speak, all I hear is bullshit. Tell the truth about Charlie Kirk instead of telling me to stop. All I wanna know is which guy took the shot. I need an answer to a question only you would know. Was Charlie Kirk's life a reenactment of the Truman Show? Truman Show, Truman Show. 100,000 of us on your head top. Please stop trying to feed us all this fed slop. Your grieving widow book tour, we ain't listening to it. And free Tyler Robinson, cause you know he didn't do it. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What? Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. Everybody wanna hate Candace. What?
It feels a little fake and gay. Gotta tell you guys, it feels a little fake and gay, and there will be no fakeness